Good evening, folks, and welcome to a new episode of Beer Rating with Sean Connors. It's February 2020, the start of a new month, and I've decided for the month of February I'm going to concentrate on Belgian beers. Anybody who followed my last few episodes, you know a friend of mine, he gave me, I think it was 12 beers from around the world, and I realized last week I still had 4 Belgian beers left in that lot, so I decided, hey, we'll do Belgium Beer Month. And last month, end of January, I actually had a Belgium as well, so there you go. The one we have today is Petrus Dubbel. If Petrus sounds a little familiar, it's because I've actually done maybe 2 or 3 episodes previously of Petrus, the different beers. They're well known for their sour beers, and different levels of sour beers. So this one, it's a D-U-B-B-E-L, and that's a double, and it's a Dutch word meaning double. It has to do with the elevated alcohol content of the beer. With the Belgian beers, you have your doubles and then you have your triples or triples, and as obviously it's increased alcohol. Alright, so see if there's anything on the label. It's 7.0% alcohol. It says traditional double ale. It says it's a dark brown, full-bodied beer, perfect after a hard-working day. The bitterness derives from 6 different malts. With a well-balanced taste, the daily grind flows away in no time. And that's about it. So I'll give my glass a quick cold water rinse as per usual. And basically that's just to get rid of any dust residual, cool down your glass, rather than storing it in the, you see people that have beer glasses stored in the freezer. They actually highly recommend you don't do that. Several different reasons. Basically, the glass can be so cold that it actually numbs your taste buds, so you're not going to get the full flavor of the beers. And if you're using your typical North American lager, it's probably not a big deal. But when you're looking at different ales, specifically ales, which are normally a lot more flavorful, you want to get the full extent of the flavor. So you don't want to numb your taste buds. As well, a lot of times they say the flavors of other foods or products in your freezer can actually adhere to the frost which is on the glass. And one book it actually said, go to your freezer, scrape off some of the frost that's on the side of the freezer, let it melt and try to drink it. It's disgusting. So you could also get a lot of freezer burn flavors or just flavors of different items in the fridge, or sorry, the freezer. Okay, so I'm going to pour this up. See how we go. I'm using my tulip glass, and this is a glass often used for Belgian beers. Basically, you can handle the stem rather than the glass, so you're not warming the glass down or the beer down with your hand. Also, it says it's where it's elevated. It displays the beer better. And I'm sure with the shape of it, I'm sure because it narrows in at the top, that's probably designed to help maintain the head, which in turn traps the flavor. So it's definitely a brown beer. That's common for most doubles. Significant aroma, not really significant, but you can definitely smell it. It's a nice aroma, nice brown head. The first flavor that I get is almost a molasses type flavor, which I wasn't really expecting. Doing a bit of research I did, they say basically the flavors that you should get from this beer, or what they state, is dark fruit such as raisins, prunes, dates, and also cereal, like cereal grains. And honestly, now that I've tasted it and it reminded me of molasses, that's the same thing I'm getting with the aroma. It's a dry finish, which it's known for, so it's not lingering. It reminds me a little bit of a stout. I'm thinking like a Guinness type thing, like the little molasses flavor. It doesn't have the feel of a stout. If you have a stout such as Guinness, a lot of times it's almost like a creamy mouthfeel. I'm not getting that at all. but I am getting a similar flavor as I would from a stout such as Guinness. It's interesting. What can I say about it? As I said, it's 7.0% alcohol. Doubles are normally anywhere from the 6 to 8% range, whereas triples or triples are higher again. The style of beer, from my understanding, the origins is it was a strong version of a dark beer brewed in Westmalle Abbey in 1856, and I'm pretty sure Westmalle Abbey is still one of the Trappist breweries in Belgium today. If you ever have a Trappist brew, basically I believe there's 6 or 7 Trappist breweries, and I believe the majority are in Belgium and one in the Netherlands, I believe. And basically their Trappist breweries are breweries that are run by monks, basically. And you might also hear of abbey breweries. In my understanding, the difference between Trappist and abbey, an abbey brewery nowadays is basically in a monastery, whereby a Trappist brewery, it's in a monastery and it's run by the monks, whereby an abbey brewery, it's just a location, and obviously they got their own independent brewmasters. That's my understanding. So this one came about in Westmalle Abbey, 1856, and fast forward in 1826, they came out with what they call the Double Brown. And then post-World War II, a lot of other breweries picked up and started using the double, so it basically came about as a new style. The brewery for this one, I mentioned before, De Brabandier, and it's DEBRABANDERE. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but I call it De Brabandier Brewery. And that's it's a family brewery. I think 5 generations. They started off as a farm and then they got into brewery. And it's been with the same family since 1884. So they know a little bit about breweries. Sorry, a little bit about beers. Alright, so I have to give this one a rating. And my ratings, as usual, is out of 5. A 1 being a drain pour, a 2 being, not a big fan, but I'll finish it. A 3 being a good beer, a 4 being a very good beer, and a 5 being the best beer ever. Now I gotta say right off the bat, this beer is definitely not one that I would have as my go-to beer. To give it a rating, I want to give it a 3.0, which means it's a good beer, it's an okay beer. But honestly, I think that's, for my own personal preference, I think that's a little bit high. I'm definitely going to finish it. It's not that I don't like it, but it's just not my thing. So I think I'm comfortable giving this one a 2.5. So that's in between, yeah, I'm not a big fan, I'll finish it, and a good beer. I'm tempted to give it a 3, but I know, honestly, it's not a bad beer, but I know I'm going to struggle to finish it because it's just not my thing. So there you go. 2.5 for the Petrus Dubbel Ale. And as I said, for the month of February, I'm going to do Belgium Beer Month. I think I have another Petrus and a couple other beers. I'll just show you what I have for the rest of the month. I'm not sure what order. I have a Saison DuPont, another Petrus Aged Red, and I have a Duval. And obviously, I don't know, the DuPont, I know that was a farm brewery, I believe. The Petrus, same brewery as this one. And honestly, the Duval, I don't know much about it. And these are all ones that my friend Mike gave me, so he brought them back from overseas, and there's absolutely no English on there whatsoever, so I have to do a little bit of research. Next week, actually I think I'll do the Duval next week, just to get it out of the way. So there you go, folks, that's my rating for my Petrus Dubbel, 2.5. Hopefully you can join me next week and we'll try this little bad boy. There you go, folks, until next beer, as always, enjoy responsibly and cheers.